That's number one. Now we got to go live on Facebook. One second. Okay, let's see. I think we are live. I'll know in a second because it'll start to echo and then I'll shut it down. Okay, very good. Awesome. Well, hello. Just for
Hello
me.
there.
I just got candy. I got candy.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah. So yes, we did go to trunk or treat. All right. So interview time, Sherry. Thanks for meeting me here. I just got a melted Jolly Rancher in watermelon. So there you go.
Yeah.
It's getting to be trick or treat time. So, So thanks for coming in here to share your story as a client who has now graduated. You are a booze-free badass. You are alcohol-free, and you are not a miserable person. So I just wanted you to share your story with everybody, whatever you feel comfortable with. Tell us who you were before you came into the program with Chris.
Okay. Well, pretty much so. My day started out in the morning with me being upset with myself for having, gone to the alcohol again last night after I had told myself yesterday morning that I wasn't going to have more alcohol.
Right.
And then I'd drink, and then I'd wake up in the morning and I'd be upset with myself. And so my day was, that's a horrible way to start your day, pissed off at yourself. And so your day doesn't go real well when that's how you start your day. It's kind of hard to turn it into a positive when you're laying in bed and that's the conversation you're having. And over 3 months, I'm 3 months and like, I don't know, 7 or 8 days, something like that. And I don't wake up in the morning angry at myself in the morning,
That's nice.
It's much easier to think of things to be grateful for, and to kind of be present in the moment, and enjoy life moment to moment. And when you're not living with the cloud of thinking that alcohol gives you, you have clarity that just wasn't there, when your blood cells were so full of alcohol.
Yeah. Well, we talk a lot about the box that we put ourselves in when we're drinkers, because we want to be able to do it on our own terms. So that safe space is usually home, and that can kind of take a lot away from you. And so what are some of the things that you were missing out of because of, alcohol coming first?
Well, I didn't want people to know how much I was really drinking. So I didn't answer the phone after 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Sure.
When friends would call and I wouldn't answer the phone, And then I would lie the next day when I called them back and say, oh, I must have had the ringer off.
Mhm.
No, the phone was sitting right next to me. It lit up. I saw who was calling. I didn't want to talk to them because I didn't want them to know that I was drinking alcohol, you know?
Right.
So, it's like I shut myself off from a lot of relationships.
Mhm.
Uh, and it's really nice now to, when my friends call or my family calls and I pick up the phone and have a conversation, it's great to find out what's going on in their lives and to share what's going on in my life, and to talk about my grandbabies and and to
Yeah.
share about that, and the time that I spend now with my grandbabies, I'm
Mhm.
with my grandbabies. I'm not sitting there like too tired to do anything.
Right.
The other day I was with my two of my grandbabies, and my grandson, who's 5, he gave me 2 of his action figurines. They're all, I don't know, 2, 3 inches tall. And he gave me 2 of them, and I was supposed to be both characters. And I said, well, how can I be both people? I'm only one people. And he said, well, Nana, you do have 2 hands.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Better get on board.
So I got to be 2 characters.
Okay. Yeah. So now that you're a non-drinker, you're able to participate and have fun and interact and then remember the interactions. And with friends, when they're calling in, you can pick up and have a conversation and then remember the conversation. You can have last minute plans. If somebody calls you and says, hey, you want to go out to dinner, and it's like dinner time, you aren't like 2 sheets to the wind already, right?
Exactly. Yep. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm not afraid to drive there. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's very nice to have a clearer mind, and just my body doesn't feel lethargic all the time. you know
Mm.
it's I'm starting to pick up on the energy. I can go for a walk and take the dog for a walk. So I mean, it's baby steps, but
Yes.
we're getting there, you
Yeah.
know so
Yeah. So when you first reached out to Chris, what made you think that our program might be a good fit for you? What was it that made you say, let me have a conversation with somebody and see what this is about?
um well, a big part of it was like the accountability,
Mhm.
um, having someone that I knew I was going to be talking with on a regular basis and checking in with, and um and also the lack of wrong making. I don't know how to say it
Yeah.
how to
Mhm.
say it clearer, that it's like that doesn't really make a whole lot of grammatical sense, but it's
Yeah, but what you mean is like we're not pointing the finger at you, like Sherry, you're broken, you're weak, you're the only one that can't act right around alcohol. So you can't have it. You didn't want that, right? You wanted the empowerment, the accountability, and to be able to leave alcohol behind. Not that Sherry can't have it, poor Sherry, but you don't want it. You're leaving it in your dust, right?
yeah, yeah, and it just I mean, it that, and the like, I don't desire it. In fact, where I sit at my desk, which I'm sitting at right now, I look out a window.
Mhm.
Right across is a house that the person who lives there, the wife, is very much so an alcoholic, and she was out this afternoon. I have no clue who she was screaming at, if she had like earbuds in or what, but
Mhm.
She was obviously drunk, stumbling
Mhm.
around, 3 o'clock this afternoon, having a disagreement with someone, but I don't,
Right.
and it's like, I sat here going, oh, thank God I'm not doing that anymore.
Thank
Thank,
God I'm not on that path anymore. Yes.
yeah, like what kind of behaviors did I do when I was drinking that I don't remember, that I should be embarrassed about, but I don't remember.
Right, right. Yeah, like all the things that sometimes we remember something and we cringe, but what about the stuff we don't remember? Like that's probably the stuff that
Exactly.
needs to stay buried because
Yeah.
surely we were acting stupid as well. Like of
Yep.
course there's been accounts people have told me I acted stupid. So I know this 8,000%, but yeah, when you're drinking, you don't realize what you're putting out there. So she probably was not aware of her volume, or she wasn't aware of listening ears, or, who knows, but it was kind of a good reminder for you to say like, gosh, I'm so glad I walked away from that life.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Awesome.
and there's times that I see other people stumbling home because there's a bar not too far from here.
Oh
And
goodness. Hmm.
so people will walk over there and walk home. So, of course they don't have to worry about a DUI. But there's times that it happens quite often that I'll see people stumbling home,
Yeah.
and I'm like, gosh, I wonder how they crossed because there's a very busy road that they have to cross.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm really glad that they're not, like that they got across that road.
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh darn. Yes. You live in an area where you can kind of witness the fruits of what happens when we stay a little bit too long on that path,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Well, tell me this. So you ended up signing up, you did this amazing program, Freedom from Alcohol, with Chris. I was your coach. What was the biggest thing that you would say, if somebody were asking me like, Sherry, is it worth it? Like, how would you 30-second elevator pitch, like, why would you say, yes, you should do this if at all possible?
Um, so you have a whole community, first of all, of, like there's just a community in this group. And if you ever need anybody, you can reach out to anybody, which is amazing. And especially for drinkers, because the community that we typically have are other drinkers. And so to reach out to somebody who's sober and can think,
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
really amazing. And the accountability, it's like you have homework and you get the program, and you have access to the training. And I mean, it's just the different kinds of training is just really, really awesome. And it's great to have access to that all the time.
Yeah, we definitely make our clients active participants in learning. So it's
Yeah.
not just like, hey, go do this. It's like, no, like, let's go learn about this. Let's learn how our brain works. Let's learn about our subconscious. Let's learn about what was the root cause of my drinking, all of that. So it's super helpful to put the student in the driver's seat for that reason, because it does work really well. And you're invested in your own outcomes, of course.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great elevator pitch. So the community and the accountability, and just for me, the only thing I would add would be not going around missing your best friend for your whole life, because I thought when I was leaving alcohol behind, my precious red wine that I
Mm-hmm.
was so fond of, it was my best friend, and I didn't want a life where I was just missing that thing all the time. I wanted to be free from it, like a clean break where I can look at it and say, "Yeah, no thanks."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have this beautiful patio that I call Fab Patio. And when I decided that I was going to become alcohol free, I was like, how am I going to enjoy the evenings on Fab Patio without my gin and tonic?
Hmm.
You know, it's like, and I did.
Good. You really did. Yes. Yeah.
It was, I still had, still thoroughly enjoyed hanging out on the patio. And, um, it's still enjoyed the beautiful flowers that I had out there. And, I had my big old glass of,
You
uh,
always do.
tonic with no gin in it sometimes. Sometimes it's a mix that you put into water that adds a flavor to
Mhm.
it. And, it's sometimes it was just water and sometimes it was just club soda with lemon or lime and or both, it's but very much so could enjoy Fab Patio without the alcohol.
Yeah.
So,
And actually, before we go, because we don't want to keep everybody too long, and I don't want to keep you either. I know your dog needs you, your
yeah,
baby. Um, yeah, you've been through a couple of events so far alcohol free and found that you could enjoy them. So, a lot of us are always worried about weddings. What are we going to do in the summer when we're cutting the grass and we just want a cold beer? All these different things. What are some events that you've done already where you're like, huh, okay, well, I made this a way bigger deal than it is. And actually, I did have a good time.
yeah. So I went to two different weddings. The first one I was very concerned about, um, but I went with a plan, you know, that this is what I was going to do. And if certain things started to happen where I was feeling oh my God, in order to be part of part of the celebration, I have to have an alcoholic in my hand, an alcoholic drink in my hand, that I could leave. I drove myself, I made sure I had my own wheels, and um, I had a plan and of what I was going to drink. And, because I do enjoy club soda with lemon and lime, and that was perfect. It was really cute. I was up at the bar to get a refill on that, and there was a gentleman there who offered to buy my drink for me. It was like it was a free drink, but I said, "Oh, that's really kind of you. Sure, you can." And the
Yeah.
bartender looked at me because he knew what I was drinking, and I said, "Yeah, throw a club soda with lemon and lime on his tab." And the guy
Yeah.
just looked at
Oh,
me. It was so. I mean, it's really fun how you can have like some real fun interaction with it, even.
right. Right.
So,
Yeah.
so
Right.
yeah,
So
but
2 weddings, and then what else was it that you had hit this summer?
let's see. Gosh, I've gone out for dinner quite often with friends.
Mhm.
And I mean, gosh, I don't know what all I've done.
So you've just basically lived your life and you've just found time after time, oh, I can do brunch, I can do lunch, I can do dinner, I can go to weddings, I'm having a
Yeah,
good time, I'm still dancing, I'm still socializing, because we have it all built up that we can't do anything without that one
exactly.
magical elixir. Yeah, and it's completely false. So thank you for coming on here today to share your story and the fact that you are living big now. You're just living large, living a much outside of that tiny box we put ourselves in so that we
Yes,
can drink and be left alone. Now we're like out and doing things and having a good time and socializing and being present in your grandchildren's lives. And I just love that so much. So thank you so much for popping on here. I am going to bid everybody farewell, but hang tight for 1 minute, Sherry. Okay, let me shut everything down
well,
here. Thanks, guys. If you want to hear anything about the coaching program that we do offer that's super successful, 96% success rate with helping people change their relationship with alcohol, just reach out to me, Chris, or Matt, the three coaches. Okay, take care.